What's up, cool people? How's everybody doing? Welcome to Study Stream Saturday. Yeah. Per the usual, do a couple chapters of Bible study. Definitely only going to do two. Not doing any more than that. Because today's chapters are not exactly on the short side of things. I mean, they're not super long either, but they're not exactly short. So anyway, yeah. I'm just gonna give it a little bit. Okay, that's weird. Like, huh. Okay. YouTube gave me a weird notification thing as if, like, the stream wasn't working right. But anyway, seems like we're actually good to go. Should be, anyway. Let me just double check that the audio is actually coming through. I mean, y'all could let me know about that if you wanted to, but of course I have ways of checking that myself, so... I mean, by any measure that I could think of, it should be working just fine. And I should be able to tell without actually checking the stream feeds that it's working fine. But, yeah. What's not working fine, once again, is OBS trying to manage the whole multi-stream thing. I don't know what the problem is. Do I need to, like, do an update for something? Alright. Seems to be settling down a bit. I'm still gonna give it a moment, just to be sure. But, yeah, so... before we dig into any Bible study stuff, there are definitely some games that I've had in mind to try out on a stream, and I'm just thinking, you know, I might want to get to trying those out before too long. I'm just taking a look at some of my options here for that. Because not every game that I have, you know, on my Xbox hard drive is one that I would really want to stream in the same live stream that I've done, like a Bible study kind of thing. But anywho, tell you what, I'm actually maybe kind of waiting for a particular, rather loyal viewer to show up before I get into any Bible study stuff. So, I'm gonna leave stuff in the chat, asking people what game they think I should play. Maybe I should add in that it's, you know, after the Bible study. So you know what, let's real quick transition over to, you know, my Xbox view here. I didn't mean to actually click into that. Nope. Nope. Is it really a click in that case? I don't know. I did not mean to get into that game. What game is that anyway? Rated teen. All I can tell is there's shooty stuff in it. The game I was actually maybe thinking of was a much more recent download of mine. Probably a recent game with gold. Which, by the way, have y'all heard that they're kind of doing away with the well, not doing away with, more so like refreshing, rebranding, whatever the uh, the Xbox Live Gold stuff. Apparently, in a couple of months, they're gonna turn that into like, I think they're calling it Game Pass Core or something like that. But it's supposed to work in a somewhat similar manner to Game Pass, just with it being less expensive and maybe not, well, probably not having quite as many games in the available rotation. But, now, whether that means once a game's out of the rotation, you won't be able to, like, really play it anymore, I don't know. I hope that's not the case, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Anyway, I'm trying to find this game on my Xbox that I downloaded recently and was thinking about maybe playing. Partially because I want to try it out and see if it might be a decent one to try to pick up and play on, on our sister channel, you might say, Same Spirit Gaming. The one where I kind of, am... It's more like a collab channel. Okay, that's the game I was thinking of. It definitely seems like, man, really seems like a game that, were I to play it on the Same Spirit Gaming channel, it would really seem to fit the vibe for having a particular streamer I know of, kind of as a guest on the channel while playing this. Adventure point and click puzzle game. Okay, interesting. Do. I mean, this is definitely not a game that seems like, I don't know. It seems like it's like targeted toward a female audience. Let's put it that way. And I'm not just saying that because of like the appearance of the game or anything of that sort. Like, just the story seems more centered around that too. But I don't know. Anyway, do. Anyway. Okay, well, enough delaying things. I was hoping maybe a particular viewer would show up before I get into any Bible study stuff, but I also don't want to delay that forever. Get a little bit of water to drink before I hop on in there. Okay, so let's just get rolling with the Bible study here, shall we? Going to be picking things up where we left off last week, which, if you haven't seen Bible study stuff so far, there are archived live streams that you can go back and watch, and you'll probably only really have to watch like the first hour or so of most of those to really catch up. At least for the previous chapters of Deuteronomy, you could take that route. Or if you'd rather wait for when the, chapter by chapter, more condensed videos get released. I'm like a few weeks ahead on that. I think chapter 4 was the latest edited video that I actually, published on YouTube. But all the ones up through chapter 10 are like just kind of waiting to go public. All the other ones up to chapter 10. But anyway, yeah, anywho. And I think before getting into any more explanation on things, I'd probably be better off just starting to record and then getting into that. Because then I'm getting into context of what I'm going to be reading here. So, anyway, let's do this. Alright. So, we are looking at Deuteronomy chapter 11. The past couple of chapters involved Moses kind of recounting the whole debacle at Mount Sinai with making the golden calf idol thing, using that as an example of how the Israelites have been kind of stubborn over the years, and making the point that, God's not blessing them because of their own actions or anything like that. It's just because, God made a promise to, Abraham and other Israelite forefathers, and also kind of, for God's own glory, that, he can choose a somewhat small and insignificant group of people who were slaves in Egypt and, make of them a great nation. But anyway, so since we're not starting off this chapter with a new subsection, let's just take a quick look at, okay, so the previous subsection heading at the end of chapter 10 was a call to love and obedience, especially, obeying God and loving God. And so, again, trailing off of the idea that, God's not blessing them because they're good, but he is choosing to bless them, so really it's all the more reason why, the Israelites should love God and, obey him, because his commands have proven good and true and right, and he's really the only God worth serving and being loyal to and obeying. So anyway, all right, with context out of the way, I think it's about time we get rolling with this. Yeah. So here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 11. This is Moses speaking to start with. Honestly, most of Deuteronomy is Moses speaking. So anyway, you must love the Lord your God and always obey his requirements, decrees, regulations, and commands. Keep in mind that I am not talking now to your children who have never experienced the discipline of the Lord your God or seen his greatness and his strong hand and powerful arm. They didn't see the miraculous signs and wonders he performed in Egypt against Pharaoh and all his land. They didn't see what the Lord did to the armies of Egypt and to their horses and chariots, how he drowned them in the Red Sea as they were chasing you. He destroyed them, and they have not recovered to this very day. I'm a little curious how they would know that. Because, they've been in the wilderness all this time. I guess, it's possible they could have encountered some other groups of people who would have said something about that, but I don't know. It's also a safe assumption, though, that, he, meaning Pharaoh, lost that many troops and chariots and whatnot. It's not an easy thing to just recover. Especially when, you also lost a significant amount of your working force. But, yeah, so, yes, it does hold true that the children of these people would not really have known what God did previously, because these people themselves were likely fairly young whenever all these other events happened. They would have had to at least be, under age 20 when, their elders and whatnot would have been too afraid to go into the promised land the first time around. Anyway, hey, what's up, Al? How's it going? You haven't really missed a ton. Just, Moses saying that, or once again saying that the people should, love and obey God, but, also recognizing that all the reasons that he's given for them to love and obey God, that their children wouldn't really know all these things because they weren't there to experience how God worked previously. Okay, I wondered about that. I did kind of try and stall for time a little bit. Yeah, honestly, so here's the thing, Al. A lot of Deuteronomy is actually recap. Recap by Moses, in order to help illustrate the points that he's making himself and, his own encouragement / recommendations that he makes to the rest of the Israelites. So, yeah. I think, honestly, Deuteronomy is, mainly recap sprinkled with extra, advice and insight. But anyway, I digress. So, yeah, all this stuff that God did, delivering them from Egypt and whatnot, the children of this generation of Israelites would not have seen any of that. So, while the, command to love and obey God is still true to them as well, or true for them, I should say, the reasoning behind it isn't as obvious to them because they wouldn't have seen these things happen. Also guess because books weren't as common now. This is learned by repetition. Yeah. Books were, like, actually not even really a thing back in this day and age of Bible times. It was scrolls at best, which were also not very commonly duplicated. But anyway, oh yeah, footnote here. It read sea. Hebrew says sea of reeds. That's honestly a footnote we've had multiple times before, just different way of referring to the same thing. The original Hebrew more so would have called it the Sea of Reeds, but we know of it as the Red Sea. Anyway, continuing on in verse 5. Your children didn't see how the Lord cared for you in the wilderness until you arrived here. They didn't see what he did to Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, a descendant of Reuben, when the earth opened its mouth in the Israelite camp and swallowed them, along with their households and tents, and every living thing that belonged to them. But you have seen the Lord perform all these mighty deeds with your own eyes. So just giving another example to kind of illustrate the point of, yeah, okay, I'm commanding these things to you. Maybe also he's kind of subtly saying, I'm telling you these things so you can tell your children these things. Because you've lived them, you know the reasons. You're going to need to explain this a bit more to your children. But, yeah, it also, you know, we kind of got an example more so of God's judgment here and, you know, his discipline, as opposed to the previous example, which was more of like a, hey, he helped us kind of situation. All right, real quick. Just kind of needed a sip of water there. All right. So then we move on to verse 8. Therefore, be careful to obey every command I am giving you today, so you may have strength to go in and take over the land you are about to enter. If you obey, you will enjoy a long life in the land the Lord swore to give to your ancestors and to you, their descendants, a land flowing with milk and honey. For the land you are about to enter and take over is not like the land of Egypt from which you came, where you planted your seed and made irrigation ditches with your foot as in a vegetable garden. Rather, the land you will soon take over is a land of hills and valleys, with plenty of rain, a land that the Lord your God cares for. He watches over it through each season of the year. I wonder if, I guess that sort of feeds into the, you know, the fact that it is like the promised land, like, again, it being the land that was promised to Abraham and his descendants. Maybe that's supposed to sort of be the tie-in to why God would specifically, like, take extra care of this land specifically. Because otherwise it's just like, it's a random piece of land. Why would God pay any extra attention to it? Because it's the land he promised Abraham. Like, it doesn't really... That's really the only way it makes any kind of sense there. But to these people, that should have meant, you know, all the more reason to know that it was, you know, a good and plentiful land. They wouldn't have to, you know, make irrigation ditches or anything like that. Like, the land would already be just good and fine to, you know, grow their crops without having to do extra work for it. I mean, yeah, they'd still have to do the basic, you know, planting and harvesting and whatnot, but None of the extra, like, yeah, we got to redirect the water over here kind of stuff. It is random that if it created the whole earth, why make a tiny spit of it important? Yeah. And again, I would point back to the fact that it was the land promised to Abraham and his descendants as to why it was important. Because, I mean, God makes good on his promises. And, I mean, granted, the land might have been a good land to begin with, but this is God we're talking about. He might have known that this would be... I mean, shoot, this was the land that he called Abraham to. Like, Abraham moved away from a different land to settle in the promised land. And so, like, maybe God called Abraham there because it was a good and plentiful land. Also, with it being God that we're talking about here, like, that could have been, you know, sort of part of God's broader plan from day one. But I'd rather not get into a big, long potential discussion on that, because, yeah. We could talk for hours on that kind of stuff. Anyway, I don't know if I really have too many other comments on that set of verses. So, we'll move on to verse 13. If you carefully obey the commands that I am giving you today, and if you love the Lord your God and serve him with all your heart and soul, then he will send the rains in their proper seasons, the early and late rains, so you can bring in your harvests of grain, new wine, and olive oil. He will give you lush pasture land for your livestock, and you yourselves will have all you want to eat. But be careful. Don't let your heart be deceived so that you turn away from the Lord and serve and worship other gods. If you do, the Lord's anger will burn against you. He will shut up the sky and hold back the rain, and the ground will fail to produce its harvests. Then you will quickly die in that good land the Lord is giving you. So, again, it's like Moses starts off with the good stuff. It's like, all right, you know, here's how it'll go if you obey God, you know, follow his commands and all that. And then, of course, he gives the flip side of like, okay, but if you don't follow God and his commands, then yeah, don't expect it to still be all sunshine and rainbows, possibly quite literally. But anyway, as I was reading this section about, you know, the early and late rains, like why it would mention that specifically, I guess the most logical thing that I could come up with is like, well, because there's some plants that get harvested more in like springtime and others that get harvested kind of later in the year, more like, you know, autumn season. So early rains probably being more toward the spring end, late rains probably being more autumn end. I will say right now, quick tangent, it has not been raining like at all here in Texas over the summer. So like, it doesn't talk about, you know, mid-rains here or anything like that. It's early and late that it mentions. Not that it never rains in summer anywhere, but like, sorry, just personal little somewhat amusing side tangent thought there. Anyway, okay. Moving on to verse 18 then, I guess. So commit yourselves wholeheartedly to these words of mine. Tie them to your hands and wear them on your forehead as reminders. Teach them to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed and when you're getting up. Write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates, so that as long as the sky remains above the earth, you and your children may flourish in the land the Lord swore to give to your ancestors. Okay, so yeah, a lot of this does sound familiar, if not from earlier in Deuteronomy, then from, prior books of the Bible, like the whole, writing, having this stuff on your forehead or like on your hands or like literally on your person. Basically having it anywhere that would be helpful and or necessary to get frequent reminders of these things. Like, yes, that's been said before, but as was commented earlier, it's because repetition was kind of the main way of reinforcing all this. Like, they didn't really have books. There was only one copy available of the Ten Commandments. Possibly two if Moses, took his own separate notes. But otherwise, that was it. Like, they didn't have any printing presses or, mass-produced books or anything like that. And even if they did, literacy was not as common back then. So even being able to, read all of these words wasn't necessarily within the capabilities of a good number of the Israelites. So yeah, repetition. And honestly, just the repetition itself is kind of what's being suggested here by Moses. It's like, okay, repeat it often, remind yourself over and over and over and over and over again, because that's the main method you all have of making sure you remember these things. So anyway, then we get to verse 22. Be careful to obey all these commands I am giving you. Show love to the Lord your God by walking in his ways and holding tightly to him. Then the Lord will drive out all the nations ahead of you, though they are much greater and stronger than you, and you will take over their land. Wherever you set foot, that land will be yours. Your frontiers will stretch from the wilderness in the south to Lebanon in the north, and from the Euphrates River in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. No one will be able to stand against you, for the Lord your God will cause the people to fear and dread you, as he promised, wherever you go in the whole land. So, another reminder of kind of the boundaries, so to speak. I could try and look it up, but also it's just think of basically modern day Israel or something close to that. Plus, Mediterranean Sea on the west is pretty obvious. Euphrates River, pretty obvious boundary. It's really kind of the north and south that are less obvious based on these descriptions, because we're not really as familiar with, the Lebanon or the southern wilderness and where exactly that really started, so to speak, geographically. But anyway, and again, reminder from Moses that God's, basically giving them victory over people that are greater and stronger than them. So it's not like any of their strength or ability is the reason he's choosing them or giving them this land. Footnote there. Hebrews says to the western sea, assumed in reference to the Mediterranean Sea, probably because it wasn't known as the Mediterranean Sea back in that day, but we noted it as the Mediterranean Sea. Okay. Moving on to verse 26. I'll probably read through to the end of the chapter. Look, today I am giving you the choice between a blessing and a curse. You will be blessed if you obey the commands of the Lord your God that I am giving you today. But you will be cursed if you reject the commands of the Lord your God and turn away from him and worship gods you have not known before. When the Lord your God brings you into the land and helps you take possession of it, you must pronounce the blessing at Mount Gerizim and the curse at Mount Ebal. These two mountains are west of the Jordan River in the land of the Canaanites who live in the Jordan Valley, near the town of Gilgal, not far from the lands of Moreh. For you are about to cross the Jordan River to take over the land the Lord your God is giving you. When you take that land and are living in it, you must be careful to obey all the decrees and regulations I am giving you today. Again, kind of saying, hey, don't stray away from God just because, things go well later on when you're in the promised land. Yes, things will go well for you because it's a good and plentiful land. And if you obey God, it will continue to be that way. But if you don't, as mentioned previously, rain's not going to come when it should. You're not going to, have God's protection and blessing. So, yeah, won't be so good then. Anyway, footnote there at Jordan Valley, Hebrews says the Arabah, which, if I recall correctly, was a name kind of given to, some of the desert region, maybe. Or maybe I'm not remembering that right. I don't know. But, interesting that, he specifically says that they're to pronounce these blessings and curses on these mountains within the land. I guess, the point of declaring something from the mountain was to help, kind of spread the news far and wide a bit easier than, trying to just physically go everywhere and tell the people that way. So I think the main point would have been to basically spread the word about God's blessings and his curses, to those who are or are not loyal, respectively. So anyway, TLDR, follow God good, disobey God bad. Anyway, I guess that's going to do it for this chapter. Sorry, the little TLDR came to mind in that particular way, just partially because of a short video that I published earlier today on YouTube and on my social medias. It was GLaDOS in Portal kind of explaining some momentum stuff in layman's terms. Just that, oversimplified explanation of things is what brought that to mind there. When talking about momentum being kept through portals, GLaDOS literally says, speedy thing goes in, speedy thing comes out. Thus, my previous, TLDR of saying, follow God good, disobey God bad. I forget if I worded it exactly like that, but you get the gist. Okay. Chapter 12 is a little bit longer, but it also seems to be all under one subheading here. Anyway, let me just, I don't know what it is, the cushion that I have on this chair just really seems to want to, like, scrunch up today. But anyway, that's... there's a random little stream-only tangent for you. Speaking of stream-only tangents, like, I literally have an ad block enabled in, my Chrome web browser here. But it's still showing these ads on the side. I guess because, websites and their programmers, operators, whatever you want to call them, are figuring out ways to, kind of do stuff around it, like, avoid ad blockers. In fact, I heard that YouTube is, at some point, gonna try to implement a measure where, like, if it detects that you have an ad block enabled, it's going to, like, after 3 videos or something like that, that it will pretty much say that, hey, you can't watch anything now. Or possibly even something harsher than that. But anyway, I mean, long story short, that kind of works out better for the video creators and them actually getting ad revenue and stuff. So I'm not necessarily opposed to that change. I just hope that whatever consequence is given for that doesn't end up being too harsh, of like oh hey, you've done this and now you're banned from YouTube or something. Like, maybe after multiple times of that. But I could also see that being a reason why people would then maybe kind of steer away from YouTube to other video platforms. All the more reason I also have Rumble and other, outlets as, diversifying my video portfolio, so to speak. Anywho, okay. Enough tangents on things. My throat can only handle so much for so long. So I should probably hop right into the next chapter of Bible study here. Here we go. All right. So now we're looking at Deuteronomy chapter 12. And Moses is speaking to the people again. Now, actually, seemingly, finally giving more of his own recommendations and instructions beyond just the recaps that we've been getting from most of Deuteronomy so far. And we'll read what this is about more specifically here in just a moment. So let's get right to it. Deuteronomy chapter 12. If my, tongue and mouth will work with me here. Here we go. These are the decrees and regulations you must be careful to obey when you live in the land that the Lord, the God of your ancestors, is giving you. You must obey them as long as you live. When you drive out the nations that live there, you must destroy all the places where they worship their gods, high on the mountains, up on the hills, and under every green tree. Break down their altars and smash their sacred pillars. Burn their Asherah poles and cut down their carved idols. Completely erase the names of their gods. It's understandable for, a god who's expecting loyalty and devotion to want these other things to be torn down. Also, high on the mountains and up on the hills and stuff, it's more than just, being up there to help spread the word. It's also, to help make things more visible. I mentioned, declaring things from up high kind of being an easy way to spread the word in the previous chapter. So my thought process there was very much related to that. But yeah, also things are much more easily visible when they're up that high from, a broader area, assuming you have decent visibility just in general. Okay, quick side note, Al, you might have to fill me in on Photo Bucket's mistakes maybe after this, because I'm not necessarily aware. I'm like, oh yeah, now that you mention it, I remember Photo Bucket being a thing, but I have really no recollection of what happened there. But anyway, I wanted to recognize that, yes, I saw your comment there, and I'm not ignoring it, but not really relevant, so maybe I'll save it for later. Anyway, okay, verse 4. Do not worship the Lord your God in the way these pagan peoples worship their gods. Rather, you must seek the Lord your God at the place of worship he himself will choose from among all the tribes, the place where his name will be honored. There you will bring your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, your tithes, your sacred offerings, your offerings to fulfill a vow, your voluntary offerings, and your offerings of the firstborn animals of your herds and flocks. There you and your families will feast in the presence of the Lord your God, and you will rejoice in all you have accomplished because the Lord your God has blessed you. So, it doesn't really get into detail on what was so different about the pagans and how they worshipped their gods. But the obvious assumption is that it was different. Whether the sacrifices were different, I mean, there's certainly reports, if you could call it that, throughout the Bible of, like, people, sacrificing children. Or there's even a specific command back in, I forget if it was Exodus maybe, about, like, not boiling a goat in its mother's milk. That was a very specific thing that a specific, group of people did as supposed worship to their deity that they believed in. But, of course, God is setting his people apart, so he wants them to do things different. And then, of course, there's going to be a designated place for all this stuff. Doesn't really say where it's going to be yet. Probably because, they haven't entered the land yet. And, there wouldn't be as much point in telling them where this place of, worship and offering is going to be before they get there. Because then it's, leaving room for them to forget it after all the, conquering and whatnot. But also, then it's honestly, they would probably have to be told after the fact anyway. Plus, it could distract them a bit, make them want to protect that specific spot a bit more, thus taking away forces that could fight in other battles. I mean, there's multiple possible reasons for that, but anyway. The point is, there would be one designated spot for that. Anyway. And maybe that's part of what was also supposed to be different about their worship of God as well. Because maybe these other peoples worshipped their gods just kind of like scattered all over the place. Because why else would you have just various poles and landmarks and other things like that set up all over the place as like places to worship these other gods? Or at least that's the assumption that I'm making based on how this stuff has been worded so far. But anyway. Okay. Moving on to verse 8. I need to stop commenting so much. Anyway, verse 8. Your pattern of worship will change. Today all of you are doing as you please, because you have not yet arrived at the place of rest, the land the Lord your God is giving you as your special possession. But you will soon cross the Jordan River and live in the land the Lord your God is giving you. When he gives you rest from all your enemies, and you're living safely in the land, you must bring everything I command you, your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, your tithes, your sacred offerings, and your offerings to fulfill a vow, to the designated place of worship, the place the Lord your God chooses for his name to be honored. Interesting note about them doing as they please. Like, you wouldn't get that impression based on all the previous commands, but I guess it's more so kind of getting at things being a bit less structured in terms of like the offerings and whatnot. Plus, I mean, the place in which they're doing that has been changing as they've traveled around the wilderness. But anyway, sorry, just I was like, are they really doing as they please? Kind of debatable there, but maybe they weren't following God super closely, and that was all the more reason why Moses had to, like, hammer it into their heads to, make sure they obey once they settle in the promised land. Okay. Then we get to verse 12. You must celebrate there in the presence of the Lord your God with your sons and daughters and all your servants. And remember to include the Levites who live in your towns, for they will receive no allotment of land among you. Be careful not to sacrifice your burnt offerings just anywhere you like. You may do so only at the place the Lord will choose within one of your tribal territories. There you must offer your burnt offerings and do everything I command you. But you may butcher your animals and eat their meat in any town wherever you want. You may freely eat the animals with which the Lord your God blesses you. All of you, whether ceremonially clean or unclean, may eat that meat, just as you now eat gazelle and deer. But you must not consume the blood. You must pour it out on the ground like water. Also, hadn't really thought too much about gazelle and deer being the common animal that they would have consumed at this time and in this place. But I mean, I guess geographically, if you think about it, it shouldn't be too surprising. Because, I mean, it's not quite African savanna, but also not too far removed from that either. I shouldn't say things like I know exactly about, Middle Eastern geography, but anyway, what was, so I think in general it was like Moses was pretty much saying, yeah, your offerings and stuff that you make, like, those have to happen in a certain spot. But, like, other animals that you're just eating for normal meals or whatever, like, you can eat those wherever you like. Just don't eat, just don't consume the blood, because it had like a tie-in to the life force, for lack of a better way to put it, of the animal. And like, there was a previous command, I think, related to that as well, for that reason, that it's like, okay, if you consume the blood, you're like consuming the life force of this being. You're really supposed to only be eating things that are like properly dead. Okay. Quick check of comments. Also, the continents have shifted over hundreds of thousands of years. Scientifically speaking, yeah. And at least, even if you go with biblical estimated timeline, like, definitely thousands of years for sure. But, yeah, so geography might have been a little bit different then, too. And they would have been a bit removed from Egypt at this point, but similarly, their Israel, their geographical Israel, and, what we call the Middle East, might not have looked quite like our modern day Middle East. Real quick, need some water. Okay. Verse 17. Actually, real quick. Sorry, it feels like I'm going to sneeze. Okay. Think I'm good. For a little bit, at least. If not, you'll find out. Okay. Verse 17. But you may not eat your offerings in your hometown, neither the tithe of your grain and new wine and olive oil, nor the firstborn of your flocks and herds, nor any offering to fulfill a vow, nor your voluntary offerings, nor your sacred offerings. You must eat these in the presence of the Lord your God at the place he will choose. Eat them there with your children, your servants, and the Levites who live in your towns, celebrating in the presence of the Lord your God in all you do. And be very careful never to neglect the Levites as long as you live in your land. Because, there was a designated spot for the offerings, probably in part because that's where the Levites would have received their portions of the offerings and been able to distribute them. Plus, opportunity for, like, communal gathering, just even amongst the various tribes of Israel, and, people who might not otherwise have really seen that much of each other, once they kind of take over and spread out a bit. Okay. Verse 20. When the Lord your God expands your territory as he has promised, and you have the urge to eat meat, you may freely eat meat whenever you want. It might happen that the designated place of worship, the place the Lord your God chooses for his name to be honored, is a long way from your home. If so, you may butcher any of the cattle, sheep, or goats the Lord has given you, and you may freely eat the meat in your hometown, as I have commanded you. Anyone, whether ceremonially clean or unclean, may eat that meat, just as you do now with gazelle and deer. But never consume the blood, for the blood is the life, and you must not consume the lifeblood with the meat. Instead, pour out the blood on the ground like water. Do not consume the blood, so that all may go well with you and your children after you, because you will be doing what pleases the Lord. So I had mentioned the blood being kind of the life force, and that being the reason God didn't want them consuming it. There you have it, kind of spelled out in the verses here. Yeah, I'm not real sure what else to say about that there. Um, it also mentions, like, again, regular meals and stuff. Any meat that they, prepared for that, they were fine to eat wherever. They just, like, whenever they made offerings and whatnot, like, there was stuff that would be made specifically as food for part of those offerings. And those portions of the offerings would then be eaten after the offering was made. For those things, the people had to, like, be there in the designated place and eat those portions in that same place. Like, they weren't supposed to take their offerings to go because they were, I don't know, in a hurry or whatever excuse they might have had. Like, any meat or other food that was meant to be part of an offering that they were going to eat, that had to be eaten there at the designated place. Because that's part, like, it's, part of the offering that was supposed to be designated to God. And the eating of part of the offering afterwards was also sort of dedicated to God in a way, or at least, like, kind of a, form of worship or remembrance of God as well. Similar in a slight way to how you might have communion at church nowadays. But anyway, okay. Moving on to verse 26. Take your sacred gifts and your offerings given to fulfill a vow to the place the Lord chooses. You must offer the meat and blood of your burnt offerings on the altar of the Lord your God. The blood of your other sacrifices must be poured out on the altar of the Lord your God, but you may eat the meat. Be careful to obey all my commands, so that all will go well with you and your children after you, because you will be doing what is good and pleasing to the Lord your God. So in the case of offerings, the blood was supposed to be poured on the altar, which might have also had something to do with, like, because they weren't going to consume the blood during the offerings or anything like that. So why would it be okay to consume the blood in other situations? Like, that's not really consistent in that way. Anyway, okay, verse 29, and I'll read through the end of the chapter then. When the Lord your God goes ahead of you and destroys the nations, and you drive them out and live in their land, do not fall into the trap of following their customs and worshiping their gods. Do not inquire about their gods, saying, how do these nations worship their gods? I want to follow their example. You must not worship the Lord your God the way the other nations worship their gods, for they perform for their gods every detestable act that the Lord hates. They even burn their sons and daughters as sacrifices to their gods. So be careful to obey all the commands I give you. You must not add anything to them or subtract anything from them. Okay, so I did mention earlier about some of the differences in worship, or at least potential differences, this being one of them. Yeah, there it is spelled out for you. God don't like that. So, yeah, obviously then the Israelites were supposed to engage in worship and offerings in a different way. Also, I was going to be like, learning about, the other gods, like, people of all different backgrounds do that kind of all the time in this day and age. But it wasn't even just the learning that was the bad thing. It was wanting to follow their example that God wasn't so keen on. Like, learning about other religions, I would say, is all well and good. But, like, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to follow those religions, too. Footnote over here. Actually, I could just read it down in the footnotes section here. 1232 is numbered 13:1 in the Hebrew text. But with it starting with the word so, that means it's kind of connected with what was previously said, which means it makes more sense, really, to have it here. Not that every start to a chapter makes the most sense, but, might as well make it make more sense in some spots. Also, there were probably other early texts used in the translations that probably had it laid out like this, even if the, original Hebrew version didn't. But anyway. Alright, so I guess that's going to do it for Deuteronomy chapter 12. I don't really have any additional thoughts there. Just, lots of stuff on offerings and eating and where to do what and where it was okay to do what or not okay to do what. Oh, shoot. I did the keyboard shortcut on the wrong thing. I pressed Control R while I was still, active on, my web browser, and that refreshed the page. I meant to take Control R on OBS to stop my recording. Anywho. Okay, so that is going to do it for the Bible study portion of today's live stream. So, I will move on to video game stuff here shortly. I would prefer to shift my setup over a little bit before doing that. So, Owl, I know you said you might not stick around. I totally understand. It's not just you, Owl, but anybody who's watching, I understand, if you were here for the Bible study stuff, it's up to you when you come and go. I appreciate your viewership and, comments and whatnot, but don't feel obligated by any means. Although, maybe before I dig into any video game stuff, we should, kind of make it official what I'm actually going to be playing. So I had an idea. I actually had an idea of wanting to play this game here. This When the Past Was Around. It's a point and click sort of game, apparently. Recent Xbox Live Games with Gold download. And, I don't know, I thought I'd check it out because I was, really mostly because I was thinking about playing it on, the collab channel, Same Spirit Gaming, where I do other stuff over there. But I also looked into a little bit more information on the game in the Microsoft Store. I mean, the main character is female, so the description of the story seems focused on her, but I'll be going AFK for about 10 to 15 minutes soon. So I kind of wanted to try this game out just to see if it winds up being, kind of female oriented, like as if that's the target audience. Which, even if it is the target audience, that's not saying it would necessarily be, a bad game to play for a guy. But I'm just kind of wanting to see what extent that might go to before I would then possibly, do a playthrough of this game on the collab channel. But, okay. If we're all okay with that, then I'll move forward with it in just a minute. I would like to, again, shift setup over. Also, maybe turn on my lights so it doesn't go dark in this room by the time the stream's over. So, give me a minute or two, and I will be back. Okay, I am back. And, so yeah, since I have not heard any objections, I will try this game out and see what it's like. Also, side note, I'm glad this is kind of, I'm glad the stream is holding up well, even, with doing the multi-stream stuff. Okay. Oh, it literally gives you like a mouse pointer kind of thing. Let me go into the settings here. Language English, music, sure, whatever. That was an interesting sound effect. About Studios. Okay. That seems almost more like credits. I've played a few games from Toj production. I don't know how to pronounce that. But I've played a few games from that one production studio before, and generally found them enjoyable. Also realizing I may end up having to voice a lot of character dialogue in this. We'll just have to wait and see. By the way, anyone who's watching, also feel free to, leave comments, questions, or whatever that might be related to, I don't know, the game, Bible topics, anything you have for me. Okay. Why does the hand there make it almost look like I'm trying to either grab or tickle this mysterious figure? Also... Oh. So if you hold Y, it gives you a hint at what to do, I guess. Also, start just takes you to that. Okay. Along with a back to title option. Okay. And now there's a door. Door is open, and we go through. Maybe there won't be dialogue in this. Searching there. That looks like it requires a key. This one does not, but it's empty. Okay. By the way, control-wise, obviously left stick to move the pointer around. A does actions, and B seems to back out of things. Can't move my character, though. Which, granted, you usually don't so much in a point-and-click game. What is this? Oh, it's a key. Maybe that'll open one of these. Nope. Alrighty. We got shoes. Nothing else to do with the shoes. More boxes. None of which seem to have anything in them. Oh, okay, hold up. Do I need to, like... Okay, I gotta go down to where the key was first, and then... Get a photo. Memoir. Look at the photo inside the drawer. Okay. And there seems to be a piece missing from it. I would like... Can I have the key back, please? No? Doesn't seem to be much else I can do in here right now. But it's also not really giving me much of anything else to do. Oh. Ah, there's another key. That probably goes to the chop drawer here, then. Yeah. Got a box cutter, looks like. Also, the other key, I guess, is like an owl. Okay, box cutter over here. Sorry, real quick, realizing I have notifications to look at on my phone. Okay, so now the mysterious figure has put something on. I'm not totally sure what you would call that. And there's nothing else to do here but leave, I guess. Or go through another door. Look at this. There's a banner there. Are these numbers important, or is it just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Maybe. Owl there with music notes. Looks like I need a key for this. Okay. That looks like a... I don't know, do you call that a crankshaft officially? I don't know, it looks like something to, like, turn a thing. Books. All the books. On the floor. Oh, hello. 1434641. 1434641. I'm probably gonna need to find other pieces of this before I can open that up. 1434641. Do I need to press those here? 1, 4, 3, 4, 6, 4, 1. No? Okay. Maybe somewhere else. Couple of drums. Hold up, I'm not exactly hearing much from the game. Let me turn up the volume on my TV. Okay, so it is actually making the sounds of the drums. Okay, we got a key. Always helpful. Some sort of owl figurine. That looks like a piece of the thing that we're missing. Oh, do those symbols maybe correlate? Okay. Maybe if I look at the symbols on the... Unless it's 1, 4, 3, 4, 6, 4. Oh, hey, look at that. Maybe those were related to the shapes anyway. In which case, like, the 4 would be a star, the 1... I do remember the 1 being like a post-it note. So, maybe. 1, 4, 3. Yeah, that does seem to about match up. Oh. This should go there. And then probably the key. Owl figurine? Yeah, there we go. Cool. Now I've gotten all the pieces of that, which all go in here. And it makes... I think that's a treble clef. But now, closet is open. Found another feather, I guess? Oh, okay. Mysterious figure now has an owl head. And I guess then we move on to the next room. Were these here before? I'm not totally sure. But anyway. Not really sure what to make of the look on her face there. Looks a little bit puzzled, but maybe also just kind of generally a bit happy. We got bread. And I just plugged something in. That turns the fan on and off. Okay. Probably some sort of diary or something. Do I need to put the bread on the plate there? Nope. I seem to be causing a lot of destruction that I do not need to be. The clock needs some hands on it. We're just tearing everything down, aren't we? Dirty looking sponge, it looks like. Some sort of... That looks like it goes to the sink, probably. Like the thing to turn the water on and off for the faucet. Speaking of... And again, with the plants, like, there was apparently no point in tearing down the plants, but it happened anyway. There we go. And now we put the sponge in there to clean it up some. Can we... I really kind of wanted to take the plate, but I guess I can't. We're putting the bread in the blender? Oh, to make it into smaller pieces to put on the plate there. So then the bird comes, which delivers a letter? Not necessarily all the most logical sequence of events, but I mean, sure. Oh yeah, there's one of the hands for the clock. But I need to actually look more closely at the clock first. Oh. Bet you we use the sponge on the mirror there, yeah. 1915. Oh, is that for the diary here? But it won't let me look closer at it to actually put that code in or anything. Or is that like the time that I need to set it to? Ah, there's the other hand for the clock. Okay. It might be hot in here. I'll turn the fan back on. Do I have to, like, choose the time now? Okay, so 1915 would be 7... 15? Like that? Yeah. That opened the lower compartment. We got a crowbar, which will allow us to open the box. Which has just a tiny little... Oh, it's a tiny little key to open up the lock on the journal diary thing. Or it's a music book? And there's a feather. Which seems to me that means we're done with this room. It's a glass door this time. So even if there is no dialogue, I'm talking a lot. The mysterious owl man is playing some music. I guess I don't need to get him in a certain order. Kind of makes me wonder if, like, the violin maybe, like, brought back some bad memories for her. Hey, welcome back, Owl. It's okay. Isn't it kind of illegal to, you know, mess with tombstones and whatnot? Although they're already kind of dilapidated. Still not saying it's right, though. Okay, got a ruby of some sort, it looks like. Yeah, this game definitely seems to fit within the realm of what might be called cozy games. Just given, like, the art style and the general way that it's played. I bet you I know where that ruby goes. And we've opened the door here. Yeah, so about Photo Bucket. A few years ago, and they're utterly stupid. They thought it was a good idea to suddenly overnight charge people $400 a year. Like, why though? Okay, so now we've revealed another shadow figure. Is it the same shadow figure as before? Didn't even try to advertise it or anything, just sent so much spam emails. So the one email sent out about it wouldn't get read. So not only did they suddenly make that change, but they, like, trapped everybody into agreeing with it, or potentially paying for it when they didn't want to. Photobucket basically broke the internet and locked the images. Okay. She's frustrated with not being able to play well, I guess. Yeah, so then, you know, as far as YouTube not making Photobucket's mistakes, I think it's pretty safe to say that, that's not really what they're going for here. They're literally, at most, from what I've heard, like, just making it so that people who, you know, watch YouTube have their ads enabled so that the, you know, video creators can properly get the ad revenue that they're supposed to get from people watching the videos. Realized that they colossally messed up and tried to re-earn some trust, offering it at a much cheaper, reasonable price. But yeah, it's like a much cheaper price is still more than it cost before they suddenly decided to make it cost all that much, right? So, like, not really all that helpful. Okay. Books have been placed back on the shelf. Nice to know we're cleaning things up a little bit this time instead of making it messier. Spick and span. Tidy up Ada's room. Alright, would you pronounce that Ida or Ada? So there's really nothing else to examine around here or anything like that. Also, what? Let's see here. Box cutter could be used. I'm not seeing where it could be used. Oh, on that. Gotcha. Used to be free, so to go from free to $400. Yeah. Like, had they gradually gone up from free to like, alright, we're gonna make it $10 a year, or even a month, would have been more understandable, and then like gradually increasing the price from there. Alright, now where do I use this tape? Tape, tape, tape. Where does the tape go? Tapity tape, tape. Tape, tape, tape. I don't see it. Oh, well, that helps. Put that back. Where was there a key? Was there a key to anything in here? No. Well, the door needs a key, or I guess that's probably like a closet door. No? I don't see anywhere else where the key or the tape would really be useful. And I've gone all over the room to see... Unless... Nah. I'm like, that wouldn't really make any sense to be using the key on the television. Oh, duh. Key goes there. And that looks like a power button that might go on the TV. Yeah. Bunch of moments of her playing the violin that I'm probably looking at in reverse of the intended order, maybe, I don't know. Still nothing clear on how and where I'm supposed to use the tape. Nope. It would kind of make some sense if eventually I, like, used the tape to try and help repair the violin or whatever, but... No. Nope. So, what do I do now? looking at, like, all of the things. Everywhere. So... doesn't look like there's anything else I could take out of the, you know, box there. Is there anything else with the TV that I need to do? Or do I need to, like, turn the TV back off after looking at all these? Okay, so if I turn it off, maybe that'll show something else. It's not really... Nope. So yeah, still not sure what to do with this tape, or really what to do next at all. Yeah, I've looked at those already. So that literally just seems to show you where you could potentially interact with things. I thought maybe that was a hint kind of system, but no, it seems to be even simpler than that. I'm literally clicking like everywhere in this box, and it's not letting me pick up anything else. Okay. Nope. Nothing there. Don't know what else to do. Do I need to, like, look at these in the order of events or whatever? Okay, so I'm thinking maybe it would have been this one, that one maybe, and then that one, and that one. Hey, there we go. Okay. So it was just... almost needed to, you know, bring out my escape room brain there. Okay, so I still have the tape, and that didn't really do anything. Maybe it'll be used later. Okay, so we got the treble, or we got the clef there. Open quarter note. 2/8 notes. And another quarter note. Or maybe that's just double quarter note. I don't know. But anyway. Clef, open, double, closed. That might be relevant. Oh, I can go back. Okay. But I'm not sure I should have gone back just yet. Oh. This is probably where that pattern comes in. There we go. And I got a music note thing. Not really sure where that goes yet, but maybe I'll find that as I continue along here. Oh, it's a doorbell. Oh, but there's... Yeah. Then we repair the wires, and now... Ding dong. Really, that one was more of a ding without the dong. When the door opened. Complete chapter 1. I don't know how many chapters there are in this game, but if it's not a lot, I could almost end up completing this whole game just in one stream here. Okay, so now we're back to that room in the cemetery with the mysterious figure. Nope. Okay. So what do I do with this key? Oh. Probably use it on this. But I probably also need to find the crankshaft thing, yeah. Or whatever you call that. I guess it's just a crank. Crankshaft is more of like a car or I don't know, a term more often used for other types of things. So, I'm assuming these are like flashbacks that she's having while she's in this, you know, particular spot in the cemetery. Hey, what's up, D. Griggs? Appreciate you stopping by. Now, real quick, I don't know if I'm not entirely sure, where you typically do your streams and how often they're, D. Griggs, but if I'm done here before you're done, especially like maybe on Kick, I'll try and hit you up over there, wherever you might be. But anyway, I'm not quite sure what's up with all these leaves and stuff. Maybe I'll figure that out later. YouTube, Kick, Twitch. If I had some more viewers, I could try and do a raid type thing on Kick, but apparently Kick doesn't allow those until you get at least 5 viewers. Okay. Is that related all to those? I would think so, but I thought I would be taking this little piece of paper from the envelope, but no. Hey. Yeah. Yes. Hi on Kick too. I like the little Charmander spinning. Would you call that an emoji? I guess. Oh, am I supposed to give him this thing? Yeah. Bet you there's a certain order to this that I gotta... Or only certain ones that I'm supposed to press in. Perhaps that will be determined by various things I find around the room. Nothing there. Okay. Coffee mug. I would have thought it would go on one of these counters here, but maybe not. Goes on a table. Nope. Okay, fine. These windows being open does not help anything. Still not totally sure what that's supposed to be. It looks kind of almost like a Y and a K. Oh, hold up. Yeah. And then there's like a 4-leaf. I don't know if that's quite a clover per se, but Alright, so there's 2 spots with the 4-leaf, 3 spots with the 4-leaf clover. Maybe those are relevant to the other thing. If I go here and press in like those 3. Ah, there we go. And now I've got a piece of... Is that cake? What is it? Some sort of dessert thing, I gotta assume. Oh yeah, also thanks for the kick follow. If that was indeed you, D. Greggs, or whoever it was, thanks for the follow. But okay. Does this relate to anything here? No. What else do I do? Oh. I go back outside. Or maybe not back outside, because this is a different memory. Oh yeah, now I'm seeing on Kick in the activity feed. Alright, something's going on over here. Okay. Diamond X and Leaf. She's sneezing? Yeah, that seems like sneezing. Okay, well I got that. So that probably goes in there. Any other stuff going on around here? Oh, geez. Another one of these kind of things. Or I gotta press in the right ones. So... okay, hold up. So I'm seeing an X and some other symbol for that. So maybe don't do the X's. So maybe just bottom right, middle left, and top right. Or maybe it's the opposite of that. Nope. Then I don't know. Oh, hello. Okay, so I placed that there. Is that supposed to, like, bring a bird on over that way or something? That would be my guess. Maybe I have to go inside for a bit. Nothing new in here. Still not seeing anything from that. Oh wait, that's not an X there. Nope. None of these symbols on these posters exactly look like a K or anything. But maybe they're close enough to the X's I'm seeing that... Ah, there we go. Okay. I got another piece that goes to the gate over here. And now maybe the bird will be back. Not yet. Oh. Hello, bird. Ah, there we go. It went over to the... Still not sure if that's a cake, but... Whatever it was, bird went over to it, and... Yeah. It dropped the piece that it had to eat, the snack. Just floating toward the music. So there's legitimately a character with an owl's head. She's sneezing because she's cold, I guess. That's why he's offering her the scarf type thing. And that was chapter 2. Oh, geez. Come on, OBS, what's the deal? Okay. Suddenly, for a little bit, the kilobits per second was through the roof. Okay. Seems like maybe we're okay now. Based on the progression of things thus far, I would guess there's maybe about 3 or 4 more chapters. Yeah, I might be able to knock this out. All in this stream. Okay, he's got the book with the key there, but I gotta do some stuff to get the key. There we go. Cup. Fill with water. Water the plants. Or at least the one plant. There we go. Got a key. Use the key on the book. Okay, so they like each other. So far, I haven't seen anything in this game where you have to, like, combine items. At least not within your inventory. Oh, geez, hello. Am I supposed to be combining this stuff here? Okay. I can dump it out if it's bad. Gotcha. But then I guess whatever I am supposed to make, if I get the correct combination, then I, like, pour it into the cup there and... Great. Oh, when what's the name of the game, dog? When did this become coffee time? Or whatever that game was. Which, come to think of it, I think that was another game from this same studio that I played. That I actually enjoyed pretty well. Okay, so... Owl Man clearly wants something with milk. I'm seeing milk and I'm seeing, like... Are those coffee beans, maybe? Coffee beans, milk. Pour it into the cup. Oh, also, is there anything else to see here? No. Okay, so... Alright, so now he's got a cup. But what do I... I'm not seeing any other cups, so what do I do for... Oh, hello. So, am I supposed to use any of these anywhere in here? Seemingly not. Oh, wait. Was there a candle that I saw somewhere? No. Also, definitely don't know what the combo for that's supposed to be. I don't see another cup. So I'm not sure what to do. Oh, there's a candle. Light the candle. Yes. Oh, and now we can use that cup. Okay. Cool. Place the cup on there. I'm seeing a couple of leafy things for her. Maybe these? No, that looks bad. Unless, am I supposed to do something with this? No. Oh. Probably that and that. Nope. This and that. Yeah. Then we pour it out. Come on over to the table. Put the cup on her plate. Oh, hey. Food's done. I guess. No. Why are you leaving the oven open? Don't just leave it open. Should probably, you know, actually, like, put that on there. Oh, and they're eating more. Okay, but what about the thing with the code? Okay, sudden beach? Okay, seriously, what is up with this lock? There's gotta be... But maybe I'll come back here another time and be able to... Because otherwise, I can't make any sense of any of that. Still didn't say that was the end of chapter 3, though. Okay. Well, we got that, right? Hold up. And then I need some kind of... That, yeah. Probably. Oh, am I supposed to put all of their things in it? I got a starfish, and I'm looking for a shell then. Also, I still haven't used this paper. Where and when do I use the paper? Sandcastle thingy. Hold up. Can I... Nope, can't pick up the shovel there. It spells out my dearest. At least I assume that's what it's supposed to be. They're very stylized, but I'm pretty sure that's what it says there. Okay. Oh, maybe we take the flag here and put it on the... Ah, okay. Got another flag to find, then. Meanwhile, I guess I could put the starfish in here. Still gotta find the shell, though. And I assume it's gonna have something to do with the sand castle. Or maybe not. I don't know. Where might I find another flag thing, though? Oh wait, was there one here? Or a flag somewhere around here? No? Nope. Okay. I could go back to the other room, but I don't know if that would help anything. As we play around with the plants once again. No shells or anything like that here. Not seeing any flags at either of these spots. Haven't seen anything resembling a number combination to use for the lock there. Oh, hold up. No, I thought for a second maybe there were numbers like connected with all those letters, but no. That does make me wonder a little bit if that would have something to do with the one safe and the combination needed for it. Okay, can this be used anywhere? Oh, maybe that'll become the third flag. Nope. I figured, hey, there's already a little post thing up there. Hey, maybe that would be it. But nope. Anywhere around here that I could use this little piece of paper. Negative. Okay, how about the matches? Actually, could I use the matches in this situation? No. Didn't think so. Wouldn't really have made much sense. No. Double no. Gotta find something to use for a flag. Okay. Let's try going back in here again. I don't see any letters attached to these numbers. And I would be trying different combinations for days with that. Matches, 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 matches. I already used matches in this little set here, and that's where I got the paper from. Matches? No. Paper? No. Paper? No. Matches? No. Huh. Or possibly if I could, like, find another cup of some sort. But I don't know. If anybody else is seeing something I'm not, then feel free to let me know. Jeez. Man. OBS is really having issues now. Am I missing anything that could be interacted with? Oh. Jeez, how the... I even thought I checked those too, but not close enough, I guess. Okay. Random turtle. But hey, there's a shell. Okay. And we take the shell, we put it in the bottle. Somehow. Okay, so clearly this is at least a fairly modern era for the setting if they have, you know, phones that take selfies and whatnot. And we go through another door. Oh, I bet you this is them, like, progressing through the day. Like, this is probably supposed to be one day's worth of, like, adventuring slash date thing. And yeah. Okay. Huh? No. Not sure I see what the matches had anything to do with that, but okay. It got a music note. Cool. Inside here, there's a camera lens. I don't know for sure if I understand the game. I'm just doing my best to try. Oh, hold up. So I'm probably going to be taking the piece of paper and, like, cutting it to do this stuff with it. To then, like, make a pinwheel. Because the pinwheel is one of the things that they're looking for there. Okay, gonna look at this. Place the lens on there. I'm not sure if it filled that in or not. Kind of hard to tell if that's got any color to it now. Hello. Oh, geez. Okay. The one looks to be... What is that? 9:35. 2 is like 8:20. That's going to be a lot to try and remember. Oh, hello. Actually not sure at all if I did that right for any of those. So is that... It's like halfway between on the one there, but it doesn't do halfway for the... Anyway, okay. So maybe that's one... Or maybe it's a sequence kind of thing. Yeah, okay. So the hour... So if the first one is 9:35, second one is 8:25. So that went back an hour and 10 minutes. But that still doesn't quite fit like a specific pattern per se, because then the third one goes back to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that goes back like an hour and a... And then number 4 goes back like an hour and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 30, 45 minutes. So it went back hour 10, hour 30, or maybe hour 15 would make more sense. Yeah. Okay. So if it went back an hour 15, hour 30, hour 45, so then the next one you would assume goes back 2 hours from whatever number 4 is there, which would mean hour hand goes at 3, and the minute hand goes at 5 minutes, which would be the 1 spot. Hey! Oh, man. Okay. Oh, geez. Got some maths kicking in there. Need a... Okay, does that mean anything? Alright. Do I combine these now? How do I... Something can be done there. Nope. I already looked at that. Can I do the... Okay. Right. So... Cut. Cut. Okay, so I cut all those. Then I, like... fold them over. Oh, I need a pin. Where do I find a pin? Can't have a pinwheel without a pin. Is there a pin anywhere in this basket here? Not as far as I can tell. Hey, what's up with the stick? Still not really letting me do anything with that. Is there anything else in here? No. Doesn't look like it. Do I need to backtrack to a different day to find a pin? Or not a different day, different time. Whatever. Details. Listen to what I mean, not what I say. Not seeing any pins anywhere. From a distance, that looks almost like a pin. Is there a pin anywhere to be found? Okay. Sorry, was once again checking phone notifications real quick. I don't see a pin in any of these areas. And I still have no numbers to use for that. So, at least I don't think I do. Ugh. Meanwhile, OBS is dropping so many frames. This is a bit of a problem. Oh, hello. Oh, gee, yeah, thanks. I figured that out on my own. Without your assistance, Mr. Piece of Paper there. Would have been way more helpful. Oh, hold up. Can I? No. Do I need to go back to the stick? Can I do something with the stick? Maybe I need to put the pin in the pinwheel first. And then put that whole thing on the stick. But then where is the pin? Sorry. Don't see pin anywhere. Oh? Yeah. Congratulations, you make an interesting sound. I don't need interesting sounds, I need a pin. Yeah. Pin on wheel, wheel on stick. That is what I need. Where is the pin? Ah, jeez. YouTube has even, like, completely... YouTube Studio seems to be acting almost as if I'm not really live anymore. It's sending so little data through. I don't see anything around here. It's still giving me that as something to interact with, but, like, it's not showing me anything that I can do there. Oh, hold up. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. I think I just figured out the, lock for the safe thing. Oh my gosh. What is the problem with the stream? So. No? Oh wait, period. Ha! That was it. That's a crowbar. Which I'm guessing I will use to pry open the box. And there's a pin in the box. Yay! It was just one crucial little piece of information that I was missing. Okay, pin on pinwheel. Take the pinwheel. And then I put the pinwheel on the stick. And... okay. Yeah, great, but now what about the telescope thing? What more do I need for the telescope? Yeah, I know that. The previous one, it had me light a match. Yeah. What's weird is the kick stream seems to be holding up better than the YouTube one. Even, you know, with the dropped frames and whatnot. Oh, man. So how, pray tell, would I obtain another thing to... another source of, you know, light or flame or whatever is needed for that? Because just tapping around on those spots ain't doing much. No other hints to get from that, it seems. Yeah, I've looked at those. I have no other earthly clue what I'm supposed to do. Is there anything else I missed back here earlier? No, that was just where I got the shell earlier. That was where I saw the spots to line up the one code. Not giving me any indication about taking anything else with me or anything like that. So, like, what in the world? What do I do? Messing around with the plants doesn't seem to do anything. I don't know. I am quite confused. Didn't exactly mean to do that there, but well, whatever. I'm looking for and at practically everything that it says to look for and at. And there was nothing else in the box there. I don't get it. Yeah, I've done all the stuff here. Don't need that anymore. Why do you keep highlighting that like it's something new that I need to do? There's nothing new going on at any of these spots. So what do I do? I don't understand. And this is the frustrating inevitability that I find with practically all point-and-click games, is that eventually you get to a spot where, like, it seems like you can't progress because you've done everything that makes any kind of sense. This is why I don't necessarily play point-and-click games very often. There's nothing going on with that. I can't, like, take it. Oh, man. I really want to, like, you know, finish up this sequence before I just straight up end the live stream. But also, like, the live stream seems to not be holding up too well. Not saying that what I'm doing has any issues. It's just like technology is not exactly being cooperative right now. I see nothing. There is nothing I can do here. What is the problem? What am I missing? I suppose this would maybe be a time for a walkthrough. I would assume even for, you know, a more indie kind of game like this, that, you know, there would still be a walkthrough for it somewhere. I'm also thinking to myself, please tell me I'm not missing some, like, obscure little thing behind, you know, a plant or whatever, or, like, some temporarily moving object. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking it's walkthrough time. Do. Alright. In the past was around walkthrough. Do. Complete walkthrough and guide. Chapter 3, I'm pretty sure, is where I'm at right now. Also, apparently there's 5 chapters in this game. There is. This is literally laying out like every single step, huh? Okay. Do chapter 3. Yeah. Make the drinks. The food stuff. Do the beach things with Shell. Okay, so the matches were actually used to light the fire, apparently. Even though that doesn't really make much sense. Lens on the right telescope. Then move this. Wait. Move the sights? How does one move the sights? Lens on the right telescope, then move the sights to the appropriate constellation. Huh? Oh, jeez. Way to introduce a game mechanic that, like... Okay, so this game totally just pulled a freaking Sonic 3 Casino Night Zone. Or, sorry, Carnival Night Zone. And introduced a completely new control method without saying a thing. How the heck was I supposed to figure that out? Like, come on. Give me a break here. Okay. And now I just gotta do the same thing with this. Ta-da! Like, how are you gonna just assume people are gonna pick up on a whole new, like, level of interactivity that was previously unknown to the game and unutilized in the game? Maybe if I go through the other chapters really quickly, I could still finish those in the stream. Although the stream has been absolutely tanking frames as of late, and I don't understand why. So what? Did somebody shoot Owl there? Like, what happened? Okay, real quick, in order to try and salvage this stream and the frames therein, I'm gonna stop showing this on Kick. Sorry, Kick viewers. Okay. Turning on some other lights in the room. And another feather there. So maybe he's just, like, really sick or something. Owl, butterfly, broom, bird. I wonder if that has anything to do with anything there. Music notes. Oh, jeez. Broom. Washing machine. Safe there that okay, so now I've got some like detergent or something. Do I need to open it up first and then nope, maybe I need a bucket for water. Yeah, let's... Oh, duh. Bucket. Sorry, water. Bucket. Yeah. Okay. So then maybe we go over here. Water. No? Is there something else I need to do with the water first? So there's a broom there, there's... So what's the other thing there? It looks almost like salt and pepper shakers. Or something to that effect. Still not seeing anywhere that I can use the water. Also not seeing anywhere I could use the detergent kind of stuff. One would think those would go kind of in here with the scarf, you know, in the washing machine. Alright, so that's a number code that I don't seem to... Oh, wait. Maybe this is a hint to the number code. So, owl, butterfly, broom, bird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birds. Is that gonna stay if I... Yeah. Brooms. 1, 2, 3 brooms. Butterflies. How many butterflies are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by my count. Hopefully that's right. Nope. Owl. Are there any other owls in here besides, you know, Mr. Person Owl here? Let me make sure I got my butterfly count right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That might be the issue. Hey, there we go. Okay. So I got these things. Do I give those to him, I guess? Sure. That still doesn't really solve the issue with the water and... Also, there's stuff with music notes there. Oh, hey. Sound of silence. Turn off the radio tape. Okay. Oh! Water. Detergent. Boom. Okay. That should have been kind of obvious. Okay, and now that's clean, and I can give that to Mr. Owl here. Where did he go? And it only seems to be getting worse. Whatever his illness is there. Okay, so we got those. And then something with the plants. Oh, is this... Yeah, I bet you that has something to do with the pictures and the music notes in here. So if I look at that... Does it have anything to do with, like, the sequence of these pictures? Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1. Okay, so 1's the clef. Okay, clef. Filled. Empty. Double. 8th. Maybe that's an 8th note. Okay, so clef, full, empty, double, whatever. Do. Clef, full, empty, double, 8th. Cool. 8th is open. And I get this. What is this? Where do I use this? Maybe here? Yeah. Okay, I have a seed. Oh. Do I need to go back and get some water for the seed? Nope, hold up. Back out here. Nope. Gotta zoom in on that first. Water for the seed. Yeah. No way do those actually grow that quickly. But here you go. See, I dropped the stream from Kid, and now, well, of course, the second I try and say that, I'm like, oh yeah, OBS is keeping up with frames now and not dropping anything. And then suddenly, what is the problem, OBS? Here, you know what? I will completely close the kick tab. Just in case it's like a Wi-Fi thing. Okay, where did he go now? Maybe in here. As she follows the music to probably track down Mr. Owl person. And she loses all sense of anything else around her. Oof. 13, 12, 15. Sure that's going to be relevant somehow. Okay, that turned on a light. So yes, it definitely was relevant. Now she's trying to get to the go. Okay, I need a square, a triangle, and a circle. Where do I find those? Got a shovel thing. What else can I interact with? Oh. Was there some sequence of those elsewhere that I missed before? Or maybe I have yet to find it. Okay, there's a box cutter. Helpful. Probably. Okay. Okay, so I can go back out that way? Is that even going to be helpful? Plants, yeah. I don't see anything real helpful out here. Unless... Hey. Oh, jeez. Okay. Does it really have to spin both when it... Ugh. There we go. I got circle-y thing. Oh, geez, and I can go all the way back here, too? Multi-room puzzles. Can I use the box cutter on this? Yeah. Oh, good grief. Is this really what I'm thinking it is? If so, then good golly. Yep, it's a slide puzzle. Where I gotta, like, slide all the pieces around to... Okay. Dang. Or maybe... do that? No. This needs to go down there, I'm pretty sure. Just a matter of figuring out how to get it there. Did I miss much? The stream completely crashed and I just... Yeah. Stream has been having some issues. So... I'm not totally sure... where you started missing things. But, Mr. Owl is very, very sick, it seems. And now we're solving puzzles to try and get stuff to get into the room where he is to, I guess, see if we can help him. Honestly, I don't even know if it's more relevant to call him Mr. Owl or just, you know, like, Owl Boyfriend or something like that. Alright, so I need 3 of these little pieces of things. They all go into this here. I found the triangle and the circle. That's why I said maybe, you know, Owl Boyfriend person, because, like, he seems to be significant, like he and our main character, Ida, here, are clearly in love. Okay, so now I gotta figure out where to find the square piece. I don't think there was anything else in here. That's just the prescription note. I already used that code on this thing up here. Oh, this is the last thing I need to figure out, and I have no clue how I'm supposed to. Do I need to, like, stagger them with each other? Is that it? Nope. might have just goofed that up. Okay, let's try getting them on... Nope, I can't move the other owl there now. Maybe I just get them all onto the opposite sides. Yeah, but then if I do that, none of the others can really move. I think maybe even that was the wrong move. Maybe do that. No, I think that's basically something I already did before. Yeah, I know that I'm supposed to move these, I'm not quite sure the sequence in which to do it. But now I've made it so that one can't go. Dang it. I got closer. Here we go. I might have something now. There we go. Okay. Piece goes in there. No, really? I would have thought that was all I needed. Do I have to press them in a certain order? I don't even know what's going on with this. Oh, okay, that did it. You know what? I think there was a note at some point that showed an order for those shapes. But anyway. Yeah, so him. He's very sick. Not sure with what, but yeah, he's been taking like medicine a lot to try and help with whatever sickness it is. And we are rummaging through literally the entire room. There we go. Medicine. that was chapter 4. From what I saw, there's only one more chapter left in this game. So, at this point, I'm kind of inclined to try and see this through to the end. Same castle's all collapsing. Yep, music note there. Is it just like a special extra achievement that you get maybe if you find all the music notes in this chapter? But it also lets you go back, so that might actually just be necessary for later on. It does colorize the scene whenever you find the music note. Ah. Okay. Got a feather there. And we're just getting feathers from these pedestals now. Kind of wondering why, you know, you exchange the music to get the feathers or whatever. Okay, so they're like basically parts of that feather, so to speak. That's some interesting art direction there. Taking like her silhouette and using that as, you know, the coloring in for the flashback. Oh, she's playing now. It hasn't showed her playing the violin since, like, very early on when she broke hers. There's nothing else I'm supposed to be doing in this scene, right? I just... Yeah, okay. back together again. Okay, but like everything else is fading away. Is that just because of her being so, you know, enraptured by the moment? Or... Okay, so we're going over this way. Completed chapter 5. Oh, and there's probably some sort of like epilogue or something then. Oh, or just credits. Huh. From what I can tell, that's it for the story. I mean, unless there's something post-credit. Very interesting choice of storytelling. A lot of... I mean, the general themes are pretty well, you know, illustrated. But there's definitely some, like, pieces to kind of fill in that aren't all so obvious. Like... did it just seem like he died, but he actually wasn't dead and then they were able to reunite later? Or is this more of just like a figurative reuniting? Because, like, him gave her, like, the courage to start playing music again, and that's sort of like her way of keeping his memory alive. Ooh, these notes are moving pretty fast now. I assume I'm supposed to try and get all of them, or if not that I'm supposed to, that maybe there's some sort of achievement attached to it. Well, now that I've played through the entire game, I'm not sure there would be any point in playing through it on the, you know, on the collab channel. Play all the music notes. Okay, so there was an achievement for that. You see, now he's fading away. So that seems to make it a bit clearer to me, then, that her seeing him again was more so just like, you know, like her memory of him and like the playing her violin again, sort of like bringing his memory back to life. Okay, I could totally see this, like, I could totally see this as a game that Crossing Tommy would play. Which, I think I made reference to her in some previous stream, but, But also, it's a bit sad, so I'm not totally sure how she'd feel about that. She's usually more into, like, kind of upbeat, positive kind of games, from what I can tell. I wonder what hitting continue would do. Chapters is pretty obvious. I mean, you go through the... Just out of curiosity, what happens when I hit continue? Okay, it just kind of goes back to this final scene where we're going through this stuff, getting the notes and the... Okay. Don't do that. Back to title. Well, but then maybe also pull up this menu thing just to... I did not get anywhere near all the achievements. Complete all achievements. Huh. Okay. Break all the tombstones. I didn't do that. Click bird inside the post box. Literally have no idea what that game was about. Really confusing to follow. It's very much an artistic kind of way of storytelling. But yeah, from what I could tell, the broader story basically was that the female character, Ida, fell in love with the owl character. Well, backtrack a little bit. You know, she liked music, but, you know, was frustrated with her own lack of skill at playing the violin, which was why she broke it early on. But then she heard him playing, went outside, you know, to see who was playing, realized it was him, and they, it was, I guess, a little colder outside, so she was sneezing. He gave her a scarf or something to keep her warm, and she kind of, like, sort of got infatuated with him in that moment. And from there, they just kind of, it showed them, you know, in love with each other from there on. That was sort of chapter 1. Chapter 2 was they sort of went on, like, a date sort of thing, I think. They met up in the morning to get, you know, hot drinks and whatnot. Almost like a tea and crumpets sort of situation. Then they went to the beach for the day to just have some fun there. Then in the evening, they went up on a hill, lit up a, you know, campfire, looked at the stars, and did some stuff like that. You know, further developing the relationship. Chapter 3 was, I think, where it showed him, you know, getting really... actually, at the end of Chapter 2 was the first indication of him getting sick. And then Chapter 3 continued on that theme where he just kept getting worse and worse to where she would have to keep giving him medicine to help him. And it got really bad towards the end of that chapter, presumably to the point where it killed him. And Chapter 4 was her kind of going through the grief of that. That was also why it kept flashing back to, at a couple of points, or flashing forward? Right. Why I kept going to the, like, graveyard scene inside that one secret room there. Because I think she was, you know, in that room kind of reliving memories of him. But yeah, I think Chapter 4 is kind of her dealing with the grief, and then Chapter 5 is where she's, like, kind of coming to terms with it and using the music to help bring back the memory of him. Like, literally, you collected the music notes in the different rooms, and then in the last room, you exchanged those for feathers. So, literally, the music was used to sort of bring his memory back to life in her mind. Until then, it got to the point where, you know, she had the courage to play her violin again, almost sort of for him, to help preserve that memory. So that's the general gist of, you know, at least my view, my interpretation of the story, or what I thought was happening there. But yeah, so kind of a quick story of, you know, love and loss, and then, you know, dealing with that loss in the best way that she knew how, which was through music. Anyway. Okay, well, that was When the Past Was Around. I didn't quite get all the achievements, but clearly not all of them were crucial to the story. It does make me wonder a little bit if there would be some, like, other ending that would be unlocked if you did all that. I don't see this as that kind of game, though. But anyway, yeah. So, since, you know, we wrapped up the game, and it's getting kind of late even for me, I think that might be a pretty good spot to wrap up the live stream there. Hope y'all enjoyed. Again, that was just a recent game, or a game that I recently downloaded that I just wanted to try. Didn't go in thinking I'd be able to play through it all in one stream, but there you have it. Even, like, very first attempt, it took me probably a bit shy of 3 hours. So it's definitely a quick, simple kind of game. If I remember seeing the price of it in, like, the Microsoft store or whatever, it was under $9. But still, for only, like, 3 hours of gameplay isn't... I don't know. Anywho, I'm not here to do a review of it. I should just wrap things up. So, I guess that'll do it for tonight. Hope y'all enjoyed the stream. Hopefully I'll see you soon for another one. I have no clue what game I'll be playing next week since I went completely through this one. But we'll just have to wait and see what develops then. And, yeah. Owl, appreciate your viewership. Good night to you as well. Yeah. And to anyone else watching, I hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you soon for another stream or video or whatever. But until then, stay cool, everybody.